Today we're going to scrape the remainder of the popcorn off the ceilings. We did it to all the other ceilings, and we have the kitchen, den, half bath, and laundry room left to do. It's a pretty simple but messy process. We're on a concrete slab, and we remove the old tile and carpet so the texture is just falling on the slab, which makes it a little bit easier to clean up. If you have a finished floor under the texture you'll be removing, I encourage you to cover that before you start. I started by getting all my tools ready, which are a drill to remove the register vents, a 12-inch drywall knife, a 4-inch drywall knife, and a 1-inch drywall knife to get into the small places. Note, don't use your wife's good drywall knives for this. Someone once told me that a job isn't worth doing if you can't pull a trigger. With that in mind, I removed all the screws in the register vents and took them down from the ceiling. Something to note with regards to the register vents, instead of buying new ones, I'm going to refinish them. My wife washes all the dust and dirt off of them, and then I will lightly sand them down. After that, I put a coat of primer on them and finish them off with 2 coats of paint. It's a lot cheaper to buy paint than new register vents. I will also add some new weather stripping for sealing off around the edges of the vents. Once all the register vents were down, I removed the light bulbs and bezels. While it's fine to have some mist get into the light fixture, I strongly recommend you wait a while before turning them on. You run the risk of an electrical hazard if too much moisture gets into the fixtures and then you turn them on. I got the drywall scaffold height set and then removed the ceiling fan blades and wrapped the bottom of the fan with a garbage bag. Once the fan was wrapped in the garbage bag, I had a large cabinet that needed to be covered, and I also closed off a doorway into my living room to prevent some debris from getting in there. Next, I filled the 1-gallon bug sprayer with water and began the process of spraying down a section of popcorn ceiling in the den. I only apply water to an area that I can reach. I let the water soak in for about 5 minutes and then reapply, and then begin the scraping process. You shouldn't have to push real hard to get the popcorn texture to come off. If you're having this problem, try applying more water to soften the texture. I noticed that the popcorn texture was not coming off as easily by the woodwork on the ceiling. The reason was that they polyurethaned the woodwork while in place, so I had to scrape the popcorn down and then soak it some more. It eventually came off. Something you'll notice is that the people who applied the popcorn texture didn't prime first, which in my case was a good thing because it makes the popcorn come off more easily. Priming the drywall before you texture gives the texture something more to adhere to. When we texture the ceiling again, we'll put a coat of primer on before we texture for this reason. Once the ceiling in the den was scraped, I started the same process over again in the kitchen. I unrolled and cut some plastic, which I used to tape off all the cabinets and countertops so they wouldn't get covered in old popcorn ceiling texture. When that was completed, I sprayed water on the ceiling in an area I could reach from a step ladder and let it sit for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes was up, I reapplied the water and began scraping the kitchen ceiling. Basically, you just repeat this process of spraying water on the ceiling until it all comes off. Don't worry about tearing some tape or paper from the drywall. You can always go back and fix those issues with drywall mud before you apply the texture or finish to the drywall. And since they are small fixes, you shouldn't have to sand them down smoothly if you apply the mud correctly. Once this was done, we can begin texturing the ceiling again. We will first apply a coat of primer on the drywall and then apply the texture. In our case, we're going to do a knockdown or a splatter drag texture. We will use our texture gun to spray the drywall mud on the ceiling and let that sit in so the mud can firm up a bit. Then we'll come back with a knockdown knife and slightly drag the texture. After that, we'll prime again and then apply the paint. We finished all of the ceilings. We've got the kitchen over there that's done. We've got this den here that's done. The bathroom over there, the hallway that the camera's sitting in, the laundry room that's behind you. There's one ceiling that I left, and I had to leave it because we have to deal with the structure itself, and it has to deal with this groovy wet bar.